Okay, so everyone, last time I left, you were going to be stitching the arms and the legs together. So once again, once you've done your stitching like I showed you, it's going to be very, very easy to sort out the rest. Okay, so what I did already on this one, as you saw from the last video, was that I turned it inside out. Okay, now this is the other version of the leg. So once again, if you've done one like this, well then this is how yours is going to look. If you've done one like mine, this is how yours is going to look. All right, so we're not going to jump too many steps today. I'm just going to show you what you actually do when you're up to this section and you're ready to fill them. Because the arms and the legs, to be honest, you can either add them via a button, which is like what we've done here, or you can stitch them on. Now, previously, I've just used a button because that was probably the easiest thing to do at the time. But lessons I've learned since then, the buttons aren't usually the best. So it's better off just to fill this and stitch this on. So it really depends on if you want it to move around. Okay, I can show you the option anyway, and if you want them to be able to move around, they can. All right, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna get your foot or your arm, whichever one, okay? And what I'll do is I'll just remind everybody, and I'll do it now, how you're going to turn them inside out. So remember, I already stitched the outside. I'm gonna go through, I'm gonna try and squeeze them through as much as I can. And once again, it does take a little bit of time because you don't wanna rip the stitches out. Hopefully you've done a good enough job and you're not gonna pop any stitches. All right, and you should only have a few stitches left. And then once again, get your pen, make sure it's not open, okay? And then you're gonna push the rest of the fabric through so that you have got all of it through your arm, okay? And once again, if you get confused, the arm is the small one. All right, now what you need to do is you need to get something like this, okay? So what this is it is polyester wadding. Now you can get that from any craft store. I think I got this, it's a Tontine brand. I got this one from Spotlight, and once again you use it for modeling and things like that. But when you actually pull it out, it is a little bit like cotton wool, okay? So if you've got cotton wool in the cupboard instead, you can use that, okay? And then all you're doing is you're going to get that polyester and you are going to stuff it into your leg. Well, not your leg, into the teddy bear's leg, all right? So once again, if it doesn't go in, get that pen, get something else, and you can start to push it in, all right? So once again, you make it as fat as you want, or skinny as you want. It's completely up to you because it's your creation, all right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna fill it up and I'm gonna show you what I would be doing, okay? So my advice to you is if you are going to be putting a button on your leg to attach it, okay, maybe you'd be looking at leaving a finger's length. If you've got small fingers, maybe 2 fingers length, and you'd be doing it there. And then what you'd actually do is you'd run a stitch across there to keep that padding in place, and then we can put a little slit across here so that you can put a button on the body part, and then that will stick on there. So it's completely up to you. But once again, once you've done that filling, that's about it really, okay? So once again, the arm on this one is one with a button, so I've only filled it to that section, okay? So once again, you have to decide on what you want to do. I think on this one, I'm gonna stick to just filling it to the top and then stitching that across, all right? And then I'm just gonna attach the leg to the actual body. So see how you go. Maybe you want to do it this way first and then you could always do another one. All right, once you've done that, your next stage is to start sewing up your body, okay? Now, this one here, I started by just putting 2 of my panels together and I stitched them down to the bottom and I've left a gap, okay? And I've left a gap at the top because remember, you're gonna have to turn it inside out again. Okay, then what I did was I got my next 2 and I stitched those 2 together. So I had 2 halves, and now I've started my stitching on this other section. So I now have 4 sides or sections together via 3 loads of stitching. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I do the rest of this stitching Okay, and once again, I'm probably going to go from about here up to about here, and then I'll be able to turn it inside out. So on the next video, you'll see what it's like when we turn the body inside out, and then you have to figure out whether or not you would like to use buttons. All right, so what I'm going to try and do is I'll try and have a few options available for you, and then you can decide what you want to do. All right, so once again, going back to your arms, make sure that you have turned it inside out. You're stitching, if you've chosen a nice white stitch or a similar color to whatever you're doing, it won't stand out like mine. Mine's only standing out because I used the black to show you. And then the rest of it, you're just gonna start filling. So once you've done that, leave it and wait for section 4 of the video, and hopefully that will help you. All right, bye.